To begin with, we have this concept of the people from other planets as little green men. Are they green from what you know? Are they all the same? Help us out.
Unfortunately, they're not so benevolent.
A fucking alien.
What's good? What's good? Welcome to 51 here with your host Jimmy. Another day in the jungle. Give us a like, subscribe, and also become part of our community here on GoldenOutBoxing.com for more news and stories. All right, let's get into this video here. So I want to give my prediction, and the prediction is going to be between the fight between Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez, which is going to be for the WBO at super light, right? Technically, super light should be welter, but anyway, that's another lesson for boxing history. But either way, they're both fighting this Saturday, and this is going to be an entertaining fight. Now, both have similar attributes to some extent, but they have different styles. Their two latest fights, in the case of Josh Taylor, who fought Jack Catterall, I think Jack Catterall beat him, and I think that Josh Taylor should have immediately asked for a rematch because that would have helped him. But I think that he left a spine on his shoulder by not taking that fight immediately and rematching Jack Catterall. In the case of Teofimo Lopez, he had a close fight with Sandor Martin. I think that Teofimo did enough to pull it through, but obviously a lot of people were disappointed because they were saying, like, you should have destroyed Sandor Martin. But you got to remember, Sandor Martin beat also Mikey Garcia, and he wasn't supposed to beat Mikey Garcia, so it was kind of an upset to some extent. So Teofimo, he also fought Pedro Campa, but Pedro Campa was a Mexican fighter. He literally didn't have any skills. I mean, he was just a push-on fighter, like, I'm just gonna go there, brawl, and fight you, and Teofimo had his number, so it was kind of a easy fight for him. He knocked him out. I mean, technically TKO'd him. I think it was the last round or almost the last round. So that was a fight for Teofimo. And previous to that fight, he fought George Kambosos Jr. And then in that fight, he suffered a loss. And George Kambosos Jr. is a fighter with a fast jab that moves around, has good foot speed. And I think Teofimo committed the mistake of going there and trying to make it a fight. Okay. So Josh Taylor, when we look at the opponents he's had and his undefeated record, I like more his record in the sense that he is actually, or he was, really an undisputed champion, and Teofimo Lopez was not. He never fought Devin Haney. He should have taken Devin Haney right after his fight with Vasyl Lomachenko, and he would have become undisputed. We all know what happened between Vasyl Lomachenko and Devin Haney. There's no denying about that. I don't know why people even argue that point. He should have never asked for the franchise designation, and that's something Vasyl Lomachenko did and asked Mauricio Suleiman for it, just in the same way that Canelo Alvarez asked Mauricio Suleiman to give him the franchise designation to avoid Jermall Charlo, versus Deontay Wilder did not do that. Okay, so you got to give credit to Deontay Wilder for not taking that garbage belt. Either way, this is going to be an interesting fight because Teofimo Lopez is being accused of not having the right state of mind. People believe that Teofimo Lopez is very insecure, and that insecurity is going to show the day of the fight. This could be true, or it could not be true. It really just depends on how or what strategy he's going to bring into the table. Josh Taylor, it is true that he came from a controversial decision, and I thought that in this case, Jack Catterall did beat Josh Taylor, but I don't think Teofimo Lopez has the same style as Jack Catterall. Jack Catterall, when he throws his punches, he actually leans down a lot, and that shows more of a 1950s style of fighting. It reminds me of an old school fighter, and he doesn't remind me as much as Teofimo Lopez. So Teofimo Lopez, even though he does throw the jab and he likes to come in, I don't think he had that sort of technique, or he can approach the fight like Jack Catterall. I think Teofimo Lopez gets hit a little bit too much. And when his fight with George Kambosos Jr., he was getting hit a lot. He was put down also. So Josh Taylor, I don't think he's more technical than Teofimo, but he's more intelligent in the ring. And I think that what's going to happen is that Josh Taylor is going to start putting that pressure. Because, see, when Josh Taylor starts to come in and break down his opponents, he has a style where he comes in, he leaves a space, he closes the gap, and then suddenly you're put in a position where you're in a close distance fight that is not really yours. Josh Taylor takes advantage by, you know, putting all his body weight in his punches, and then falls back, throws a jab, comes again, pulls the body weight, leaves a gap, throws his punches. So he's very effective at doing that. And Teofimo Lopez cannot make that a brawl, because if he makes that a brawl, he's going to lose the fight. So what Teofimo Lopez needs to do as the more diverse boxer in his style is to move around, throw the jab, and not commit to anything you don't have to commit to. Okay, I helped many fighters. I helped train fighters too, not as a trainer, but more as a helper. I do got my boxing license. And one thing I tell fighters, especially from different countries, is don't fight a fighter who's good at something you're not good at. Fight him at what you're good at, right? Whatever is your style that you're good at, that's how you need to fight them, right? And to me, Teofimo Lopez, if he makes it a one-on-one like he did with George Kambosos, which I thought it was a mistake, he'll lose that fight. He needs to be like Devin Haney fighting George Kambosos Jr., which was completely destroying his angles because George Kambosos couldn't find any shots. He couldn't find any angles. So by elimination, at the end of the day, George Kambosos Jr. is throwing punches desperately in the same manner, in the same exact manner as we saw with Robson Conceição fighting Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson not only beat Robson, but he stole all his best tricks because he wasn't giving him angles to throw his shots. So he was very uncomfortable, and then you start realizing he doesn't have a lot of tools. He doesn't have a lot of different punches. He doesn't know how to throw short punches, long punches. So he really minimized the game of Robson Conceição, and Teofimo Lopez is going to have to do that with Josh Taylor. But I think it's going to be difficult because also you got to understand that Josh Taylor survived Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis has power, and that power is greater, in my opinion, and from a true 40-pounder, 140-pounder, than that of Teofimo Lopez. So if he was able to absorb those punches and absorb also Jose Ramirez's punches, I am not sure how Teofimo's punches are going to affect him. I just don't know. So I got to give the edge to Josh Taylor. I'm giving him a 55-45. I could say 60-40 as well. But Teofimo, at the end of the day, is going to have to show a different dimension to his game. And he can't just come forward and make it a brawl with Josh Taylor. He's going to have to be smart, and it's there to be seen. So once I see Teofimo Lopez beating Josh Taylor, then obviously that would kind of change my panorama of everything or other fights that he can make at 140. But as for now, I have to go with Josh Taylor. He is undefeated as well, and he is the last undefeated king in 140. So you got to give him the edge also because of that. So we'll see what happens. Very interesting fight. And if Josh Taylor does beat Teofimo Lopez, it also could give us a wider spectrum of other fights that we could see, but I'll make that for a different live. All right, give us a like, subscribe, become part of a Golden Rat community, and we'll see you soon. Deuces cruces, like they say in New Mexico, and peace out, and we'll see you in the next video. Ciao.